This is Good Morning Uganda Extra.
Hello there, welcome along to UBC Good Morning Uganda Extra, and this time round we do have an honest conversation that is definitely going to be talking about equal opportunities. Why I did mention honest is because the guest I do have from as of today is one who is definitely going to be giving us direct information about how opportunities or how equal opportunities in this country are. I'm Joram Paul Sonko and you're watching the public broadcaster, Uganda Broadcasting Corporation, UBC TV, this particular morning. Well, of course, when we mention equal opportunities, it goes wide. It goes way beyond gender equality, but it also focuses on people with disability. It also focuses on the age bracket in the country. How equal are the opportunities that are available for everyone to thrive into this particular country? So obviously, as a Ugandan, you may not be able to at least experience equality in one way or the other. That is why we need to understand how best you can benefit from the opportunities that the country is availing to you as a Ugandan. Well, of course, why I mention equal, it is because the world has turned into an equality kind of sphere, whereby regardless of the fact that at times we say not everybody is equal to the other, simply because even the fingers aren't equal. But when it comes to opportunities, we can create an atmosphere and an environment that is definitely fit for everybody. But of course, as we speak equal opportunities, this morning we shall be focusing on the role of the Equal Opportunities Commission in Uganda. Equal Opportunity Commission, the EOC. And joining us is the Commissioner, Compliance and Enforcement at the Equal Opportunities Commission. That is none other than James Mugisha. A very good morning, sir, and thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much, Joram. Okay. I'm happy to be at UBC this morning. Good morning, viewers.
Okay. Mr. Mugisha, if you can briefly explain to the viewer, what does the Equal Opportunities Commission do? Or what is it in general?
Oh, thank you so much, Joram. Before I tell you what it does, let me tell you how it was formed.
Oh, okay, sure.
Yeah, the Equal Opportunities Commission was established under Article 32 of the Constitution of the Republic of Uganda, and it was operationalized in 2007. That's when the President, His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, assented to it.
Okay.
And it became operational in 2010. And the purpose why Equal Opportunities Commission was formed is to eliminate discrimination in Uganda. We have discrimination that is based on sex, that is based on age, that is based on ethnic origin. You hear someone being discriminated because he is a Catholic or because he's a Muslim. Someone is being discriminated because of age, that you are not supposed to be on this table because you are young. You are not supposed to be in this environment because you are old.
True.
So Equal Opportunities Commission, its main role is to make sure that they eliminate discrimination based on even geographical origin. If you are from far away part of Uganda,
yes,
you'll be discriminated. If you are going to work in Karamoja and you are born in Busoga, they will discriminate you. So the role of Equal Opportunities Commission is to remove that friction so that all Ugandans participate and benefit in each and every government program that is provided in this country.
All right, Mr. Mugisha, speaking of discrimination, one may ask, do we still have Ugandans who are reporting these cases of discrimination and being marginalized in any way?
Yeah, thank you, Joram. We have very many Ugandans who are actually vulnerable.
Okay.
And Equal Opportunities Commission has registered very many cases of marginalization and discrimination. As we talk right now, we have registered more than 2,000 complaints.
This is for this year?
For this year, there are around 580 cases of discrimination and marginalization. And they are not only here in Uganda, but all parts of the country. There are cases being registered. These are cases of discrimination and marginalization. So as Equal Opportunities Commission, we are glad that we are helping these vulnerable people to address their complaints.
Okay. Looking at these complaints that are coming through, I want to understand, you've said the major cases are coming in from the central region. But what are the major causes of this discrimination according to the reports that you're receiving?
Thank you, Joram. The most complaints that we are receiving are land-related complaints.
Okay.
And issues of employment. These are the cases that we are registering as Equal Opportunities Commission. And the reason why we are registering many around central Uganda is because Equal Opportunities Commission is based here. And most of the time when we are handling these cases, we are here. But we also have outreach programs. We travel up country. We have what we call circuits that we do address in those districts. We have also partnered with districts in Uganda to register those complaints on our behalf because we don't have branches out there. So each and every district, either the district planner or district community officer, these are DCDOs, they are the ones that register our complaints on our behalf. And if we have very many complaints, we go there and address them. As we talk right now, there is a team that is in the east that are addressing these issues. So we don't only concentrate in Uganda, we do all cases in Uganda.
Okay.
Yeah.
Briefly as well, to my viewers this morning, when you look at the cases being reported, it does seem like the Equal Opportunities Commission is the body they are supposed to report to. By the look of things as well, what power does the EOC possess, or the Equal Opportunities Commission possess, for the viewer to understand ably before they can actually come out? I want to believe everybody has got a discrimination case out there, whether at a workspace, in a school environment and everything. But now, clearly, to the viewers out there, what powers does the EOC possess?
Yeah, thank you, Joram. The Equal Opportunities Commission has powers of a court.
Okay.
Yeah, if you see section 15 of the EOC Act, that is Equal Opportunities Commission Act, it gives EOC powers of court to address these cases. And as I told you, there are the functions of the Equal Opportunities Commission. Those ones are in section 14 of the EOC Act. Okay. So EOC has 5 members that are appointed by His Excellency. And those 5 members, their responsibility is to make sure that they form themselves into a court and address these complaints. So Equal Opportunities Commission has powers of a court to address these complaints. And the beauty with Equal Opportunities Commission, you don't need to pay for any case to be investigated or resolved. Equal Opportunities Commission, being a government body, they help these vulnerable people that cannot afford to go into these circular courts, so they run to Equal Opportunities Commission for their issues to be addressed.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that is where we are seeing many Ugandans going in there. So for Ugandan out there, how should they be, very confident and sure that once my case is reported to the commission, it will definitely be worked upon? How do you follow up?
Equal Opportunities Commission has departments.
Okay.
When those 5 members of the commission, and the composition of that commission, it is the chairperson. I'm happy to inform you that our chairperson is Honorable Safia Narure, who has experienced. She has been in Parliament of Uganda for the last 15 years, representing persons with disability. And the vice chairperson is Joel Cox Juko. This is a post lawyer who has been in the legal fraternity of Uganda for a long time. And the composition of this is supposed to have at least 2 female, a representative for youth, a person with disability, and vice and chair. So there are 5 of them. So these people compose themselves into a team. And the issues of youth, if you have a youth representative, they are addressed by the youth representative. If we have issues of women, and these are the majority, we have at least 2 women, and for this time we have 3 women that are representing women. So they address those complaints, and they are very, very well knowledgeable. And they are assisted by the departments. We have the Department of Legal, which has investigators, which has lawyers. They are the people that help these members of the commission to address these complaints. Okay. And they have done a good job.
Okay. Briefly, Mr. Mugisha, by the look of things, the Public Finance Management Act does give the commission powers to assess government plans and budgets before they are approved for budget appropriation. Can you also explain more about this role?
Thank you so much. Actually, that's the department I head, the Department of Compliance and Enforcement.
Sure thing.
Now, in 2015, government came up with the Public Finance Management Act. And this one, they gave Equal Opportunities Commission 3 provisions in that act. Those 3 provisions are to make sure that we certify that each and every government budget plan is complying with Equal Opportunities Commission. All ministries, departments and agencies, they prepare their budgets. Right now we are going into to prepare budget framework papers.
Okay.
So each and every ministry is obliged to submit their budget framework paper to Equal Opportunities Commission for assessment to make sure that it's compliant with gender and equity issues.
Okay.
So, and even local governments, they are supposed to submit their budgets to Equal Opportunities Commission for assessment.
Okay.
So right now, when it comes 15th of November, that's the deadline.
Okay.
Each and every entity should have submitted their budget framework paper to Equal Opportunities Commission.
That is for the next financial year?
Yeah, for financial year 2024-2025.
Okay.
So we are going to assess and we see, are these budgets gender and equity compliant? If they are not, so we shall advise the Minister of Finance not to issue a certificate because they are supposed to receive a certificate. And we have a pass mark.
Okay.
If you have not scored above 50%, that means that you have not qualified to get a certificate. So that means that your budget will not be appropriated by the Parliament.
When you mention gender equity balance, I want to understand as well, what are your main focus points here when you're assessing these budget framework papers, for example?
Thank you, Joram. When we say gender and equity balance, we have a target. When we say gender, there are variables under gender. That is men, women, boys, and girls. But when we say equity, now we are looking at location, we are looking at age, and we are looking at disability. So if you are going to come up with a budget, you are budgeting Ugandan, you are budgeting for Ugandans. Make sure that issues of men and issues of women are well articulated in your budget. When it comes to boys, children, we are looking at a life cycle. There must be well stated. Then when you go to equity, we are talking of location. Do you have plans for hard to reach and hard to stay people? For example, people on islands. Are you providing access to islands? People in mountainous areas, have you provided for them? How will they access government programs? So those are the issues that we look out for in your budget. And if they are not well addressed, we summon it to Equal Opportunities Commission and give you guidelines. We've developed guidelines for each and every program. We have 20 programs. And each program, they have specific guidelines that are tagged to their program interventions.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right, let's look at the cases from the private sector vis-a-vis those in the government entities. Where are the most cases of marginalization coming from or discrimination according to the various cases that the Equal Opportunities Commission has in store there?
Yeah, thank you, Joram. Our mandate allows us to actually not only stop at government, but even private sector.
True.
For example, if you go to any hotel and it's not accessible by a person with disability, Equal Opportunities Commission has powers to actually order the owner or the proprietor of that hotel to close it. You must put provision for accessibility to each and every Ugandan. If you put any service to serve Ugandans, whether you are in government or in private, it should be accessible. Not only accessibility, but also whatever you are doing. If you are going to do anything to do with youth, there must be provisions for all youth in Ugandans to benefit from the services you are trying to provide. If they are not compliant with Equal Opportunities Commission, Equal Opportunities Commission has powers to come and advise you otherwise.
Okay, again, which cases are most dominant? Are the cases that you have more dominated by government entities or come from the private sector, by your observation?
We don't put a line, but most of the cases, because we started with government institutions, are coming from government institutions. But we've had some prominent cases. There are those adverts that came in the New Vision. There is a hotel that wanted an employee, for example, and they were specifying in an advert they want specifically an Indian. And this was going to be a manager of a hotel. That is discrimination. You are here in Uganda advertising in New Vision, and you're saying that you're only targeting a foreigner. So we said that is a blind advert, and they had to recall that advert, and it was resolved, and all Ugandans participated in that advert after they were advised by Equal Opportunities Commission. There are also schools. There is a certain school, I'll not mention the name, but they were harassing an ethnic minority. This is in the local language they call them Nyamagoya. They say that Nyamagoyas, they turn into albinos. The albinos. That they turn into lions, they turn into snakes. So they were being discriminated in school. When they reported that case, we entered into that school and advised and actually charged the school. They had to pay a compensation of 24 million to the affected family.
Oh.
And the child was admitted to the school, and she is now studying. So those are the issues that we usually receive and resolve. There are several of such nature.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mr. Mugisha, my viewer would as well want to understand about the Equal Opportunities Commission tribunals, and more so what happens or what takes place in these tribunals.
Thank you so much. The tribunals is a process. We receive complaints, as I informed you in the beginning.
Yes.
So the tribunal is composed of those 5 commission members.
Okay.
And they sit when the cases are registered and address those cases. But there are some cases that can be addressed under alternative dispute resolution without going into the process of a tribunal. So if a case is registered, what we do, we make sure that each and every party is represented, and we make sure that those representatives are well investigated to make sure that we reduce bias.
Okay.
When you register a case with us, we give you 6 months to make sure that that case is resolved. That's how we want to promote equal opportunities for everyone. You know, there are cases that can drag and drag and drag because of investigations. But Equal Opportunities Commission, we focus to make sure that we maintain at least within 6 months, that case is already resolved.
But it does look like 6 months are too long. For example, if I was actually discriminated at a workspace and it needs immediate attention, which confidence can my viewer out there or an employee who is actually facing marginalization at the place of work, or let's say in an organization, have in the EOC that they will actually work effectively to ensure that they are equally appreciated?
Yeah, 6 months is not a long period, because when you see other formal courts,
okay,
a case can go even for 4 years or 2 years. But if you have a case and we have resolved it within 6 months, it's a plus. I think you would appreciate that, because within 6 months, even if you are interdicted,
yes,
your employer cannot deny you to get the half pay within those 6 months.
Okay.
So it's a period that was set, and this was by law, to make sure that the cases that are addressed within 6 months help those people that are affected not have a big challenge.
Okay.
So that's how we have been doing it.
All right. For matters of job security, at times most of the Ugandans who are marginalized or are facing various discrimination in places of work, organizations, we've seen students in various institutions facing the same matter. Some of them are actually insecure about the fact that maybe you will lose your placement in this institution or in this school. And for those actually working, most of them face issues at their workspaces, but simply because they are scared to report. And of course, because they fear the outcome that will actually penalize their bosses, at times most of the Ugandans are scared to report these cases. And I want to believe you are sure you are also very conversant with that at such a time. So how do you handle circumstances whereby an employee comes to report to you but still feels they do not want their bosses to know that it's them who actually reported?
Yeah, thank you. You are talking of whistleblowing. We've received complaints of whistleblowing to institutions, and our role is immediately swinging into action. We have had a public hearing in some of sugar factories. Are you aware that most of the sugar factories in Uganda never awarded the contracts? They would just give...
It's a verbal
yes,
kind
it's a
of
verbal
job appointment.
Yes. And someone is there being harassed. If you get pregnant and you go on maternity leave, you have lost your job. So we've received several complaints of that nature. And as Equal Opportunities Commission, when we receive somebody whistleblowing, it means there is danger in there. So we run very fast, and we make sure that we help those Ugandans that are being marginalized. Most investors that we have in this country, they have been taking advantage of these vulnerable people who are working in these flower farms, people who are working in these factories for investors. They are, first of all, underpaid. Secondly, they don't have any formal contracts. But wherever we get any whistleblower coming to us, we run there and address those complaints. There are several that we have handled.
Okay. And whistleblowing, I think that is the only way most of the people are actually saving their jobs in case they're being marginalized or being discriminated. But you know, the funny twist about everything is when you look at our work environment in the country today, you've mentioned verbal contracts. That is the order of the day in this country.
Yeah.
The majority of workspaces aren't giving actual written contracts. And most of them are giving verbal contracts. So that means you can easily get fired the next day. The job security there is limited, which is actually becoming an issue for some of the Ugandans to actually report these organizations in case they're being discriminated. Besides that, my other question is regarding to the services offered by the Equal Opportunities Commission. My viewer out there who may be marginalized at this particular moment would wish to understand how much do they need to pay to access your services, or is it a free kind of service?
Yeah, thank you, Joram. Equal Opportunities Commission does not charge any fee for any service.
Okay.
It is a free service because we are a government entity. We have a toll-free line. I'll give it to you. You read it to the viewers. That toll-free line, when you call it, we register your complaints. If you cannot reach Kampala, you can go to any district where you are in any part of Uganda and register your complaint with the District Community Development Officer. That case will automatically reach Equal Opportunities Commission and we shall come to your rescue. We've traveled. We've been to Nebi, we've been to Pakwach, we've been to Busia, we've been to Tororo, we've been to Kabare, Chisoro, Bushenyi, Shema, all parts of the country. We have gone there to address those complaints that we receive in our office.
Okay.
You can also, they use, now they are online, they can also register them online. We have a website.
Okay.
They can also register us through Twitter. Equal Opportunities
This is a
Commission
24-hour, 7 kind of service being offered extensively.
That toll-free line is working hours.
Okay.
But these other platforms of the social media, the Twitters,
okay,
anytime you register complaints, we register it and we shall receive it.
Okay. How fast that is done, we are definitely going to be having that conversation immediately after the break. I'm still here with Mr.